Nuclear cheese. I'm
No,
recording this
nuclear
now
nacho
because this
cheese.
might be the single best video I've ever watched. Hang on.
This is real life. So I asked myself one question. How on earth did America get to this point? Because I know it didn't happen overnight. And what I found was the craziest real-world example of a butterfly effect that I have ever seen.
No, not butter. It's cheese fly.
And believe it or not, it
Jaden,
all
wait,
actually...
pause.
Pause.
I'm going to tell you one thing that will make you have a heart attack.
Of cheese attack.
Do you remember the Got Milk campaign?
I think I've even made memes of it, but I have no idea what it actually is.
Press play.
What? Oh my god, that's freaky.
It ties back
What?
in with last week's video of the...
Pause just a second.
Pause.
What?
So guys, we were watching this video and about a minute through,
I don't have a freaking door.
I was like, I should probably record this because it's pretty freaking hilarious, and this is just a video that Ryan told me about.
They're
so
going
let's
on a
go.
call. They're going on a call, and they want me to close my non-existent door.
Nice.
It's family, am I right?
Yeah.
butterfly effect that I have ever seen. And believe it or not, it all actually ties back in with last week's video of the ice cream ships of World War II. If you missed that, the super abbreviated version, basically the US government banned alcohol during Prohibition in the 1920s. Because of that, all the bars in America turned themselves into ice cream parlors to stay in business. Ice cream
That's
stepped
freaking
in
awesome.
to fill the social void left by alcohol. If so facto, there was like 2 generations of Americans that treated ice cream like it was alcohol, socially speaking. As I'm sure you can imagine, this would drive up dairy consumption. But for the first time in human history, there was such a demand for dairy products that farmers could exclusively become dairy farmers, meaning that this would be the birth of the entire dairy industry. And honestly, it worked out great. Right up until it didn't in 1949. There was a decrease in dairy consumption, or a dip in the dairy market. The government had to step in because they weren't about to let the entire dairy industry implode, because, I mean, let's face it, that would be utter catastrophe. So the USDA stepped in and said, hey,
what the fuck was that?
Wait, he said utter catastrophe.
Oh my god. God damn it.
Because, I mean, let's face it, that would be utter catastrophe. So the USDA stepped in and said, hey, you know
so
what, we're going to
bad.
buy all the excess milk.
Utterly
Okay,
bad.
pause.
No.
Thought experiment. You're a dairy farmer, and then suddenly, a couple years back, motherfuckers quit drinking milk, aka you made less money. Now the government has come out of left field and said, hey, we're going to buy all of the milk. What do? You make more fucking milk. So naturally, all the milk starts flowing in. The government has absolutely no idea what to do with it, so they turn it into cheese, that way it doesn't expire. But now what do you do with all the cheese? They have no clue, so they just throw it underneath a mountain, ignore it, and hope the problem goes away. It doesn't go away because every single presidential administration turn it into cheese and stash it away in these caves. It literally turns into buying enough milk while sitting on top of a mountain of cheese, which, understandable, I don't want to be that guy either. Finds out that the US government is sitting on top of 500 million pounds of cheese and spending $1 million a day to refrigerate. Absolutely fucking not. We can't have it. So his administration goes about figuring out the cheapest way to solve this cheese problem. Obviously, we're going to throw it all in the ocean. However, having at least the foresight to understand that that would cause political backlash, 5-pound block of moldy cheese. We got 500 million pounds of this shit. How would you guys feel if we threw it in the ocean? It'll be fun. We'll save money on cheese. We're going to find out if blue whales are lactose intolerant. It's going to be a great science experiment. The public did not go for it. They kind of felt like, hey, I've paid taxes for the last 40 years. You've turned those taxes into cheese. I would at least like the cheese. So then the Reagan administration took the 55-gallon drums of cheese and spent the remainder of his administration pounds of cheese into impoverished and elderly homes. And this is where
that's actually awesome. I love that so much.
Get the saying government cheese from.
You're gonna end up eating a steady diet of government cheese.
The U.S. government would then continue to give out government cheese until the 1990s, when they seemingly ran out, because as of today, all 1.5 billion pounds of underground secret cheese in America is privately owned by corporations like Kraft and Velveeta. And this is the part where it didn't really make sense, because something happened in the 1990s. What happened? And that's when it hit me. It was absolutely the Got Milk ad campaign, the biggest, most iconic ad campaign of all time. I mean, every cafeteria in every school in America got milk, drink your milk. I vividly remember commercials as a child telling me that if I didn't drink enough milk, my arms would literally fall off my body.
Well, that's not good.
Got milk.
Surely this is what inspired
That's
an
so
entire
funny.
generation of Americans to eat and drink more dairy products, right? I mean, yeah, probably, but looking back on it now as an adult, doesn't it seem just a little bit weird that it wasn't a particular company putting on all these ads? Like, if there
That
wasn't one
transition.
company profiting from selling all this milk, where was all the money coming from? I mean, it almost seems like the government launched a giant psychological operation, ad campaign, just so that they could offload milk so they wouldn't have to keep contributing to their mountain of cheese. I'm gonna take this off now because that's legit exactly what happened. In 1995, the Dairy Management Incorporated, and their entire job was to get the American people to eat and drink more dairy products. Plotting behind the scenes to get people to eat more cheese. It's the cheesiest conspiracy of all time. And I'm not even kidding. Okay, they're the reason that Taco Bell started selling steak quesadillas. They were behind the Got Milk ad campaign. In 2002, when Pizza Hut had the Summer of Cheese event where they put way too much cheese on all their pizzas, this is who was behind it. In 2010, when Domino's almost went out of business, they gave Domino's $12 million to stay in business.
Holy crap.
And then gave, hey, our pizzas have more cheese on them now, so they're good. It is absolutely insane. I found the world's cheesiest conspiracy, but then I found leaked internal documents, and they are the funniest fucking
Oh,
thing
God.
I have ever read in my entire
God.
life. Let me go ahead and read one for you now. It's a letter, July 6, 1999. Dear Greta, we wanted to express our thanks
No,
once again
Greta? It's Gita.
meeting they recently had.
Frickin' idiot.
July 6, 1999. Dear Greta, we wanted to
Greta.
express our thanks once again for a wonderful meeting last week. Everyone is very excited about the presentation.
Look, Lord of the
Don't say-
Cheese,
don't say anything.
Lady of the Cheese. What is this?
Gave regarding DMI
Oh, it's Pizza Hut. Yes.
available resources and cheese industry insights. We look forward to working together to develop many cheese ideas we've
Cheese.
discussed.
Oh, no.
Let's sell more pizza and more cheese! Exclamation point. Sincerely, Derek, Lord of the Cheese, and Liskrin, Lady of the Cheese. Even they know that this is a fucking joke. Why is this a fucking joke? Well, because Dairy Management Incorporated, while it is a non-profit, they don't actually have to raise money for themselves like most non-profits do. Getting paid $1 million to convince Americans that cheese is awesome. Okay, it makes no goddamn sense. Cheese is so fucking good. No, you're lactose intolerant. We're not going to say you're allergic because we all know you're going to eat that shit anyways because the consequences are worth it. It's basically selling ass candles to dogs and getting paid $1 million
What?
for it. It is the most ridiculously easy job on the planet. And I'm so mad that it's not mine. Anyway, I guess if you made it this far in the unhinged, 1 billion pounds of cheese hidden in an underground cave network. Fucking the more you know, I guess. Thanks for watching. Best way.
The Lord of the Cheese.
I mean, if that was on my resume, I would be set full. Lord of the Cheese. Amazing.
Oh my god. That was the greatest thing I've ever watched. Oh my god. Okay, sorry, what are you saying?
A TAS speedrun can't
Yes.
beat the official Ultra Kill world record for a speedrun
Well,
by a
yeah.
real person.
Yeah, I could believe that. There's probably many things a computer can't do on its own.
But
Turn
that's
on is
insane.
one of them.
Well, whatever.
It makes sense to me.